questions for our marvelous team?
I have a question. Did you find that the custom of bowing was still prevalent?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Very
still
much
bow.
so.
Definitely. Yeah.
It may be a lot better than shaking hands.
And we did both. And we did both.
And it's easier after the spa when you're refreshed.
Exactly. Yes.
Did you see earthquake and tsunami damage as the recovery?
We weren't close to that
Not,
part.
but there were signs everywhere, like in terms of like tsunami zones. So you always had it in the back of your mind. I think because I kept saying like, what are these signs? And I was like, oh, there's tsunami warning signs. Don't worry about it. And actually, I remember in Shimoda, we were outside and we could hear speakers and someone was speaking Japanese, and there was like a bell. It's like, oh, it's just, they test it out in the evenings once in a while. So it seemed very embedded with every day's life, especially if you live on the coast.
What were the dates that you were there?
October 20th to November 20th.
So, and did you find that time of year?
It was gorgeous.
Yes, you get to see the leaves change.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in California, it's like sea fall.
Yeah, we understand the two best times to go for the weather and the beauty are the fall, and then again for cherry blossom time in the spring when all the trees are in bloom. Although, even though it was into November, when we were in Ito with our nature hike, coastal hike, they took us to a place where there was a mountain, and they had cherry blossom trees that were of a variety where they bloom year-round. So we did actually get to see some cherry
ecosystem
blossoms
there.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
That's nice.
Sarah and Nura had questions.
Yeah, just a quick question. I had lived in Japan for 1 year, so this was fascinating for me to hear. And I just wanted you to talk a little bit about gift giving. Did you do any of that?
A lot of
We did a lot of
The first thing you do is you do their cards so you know what to do and how low to bow. And then tell us about the gift giving that you giving also your close family.
Yeah, I think we all prepared some really awesome gifts. I'm from the Bay Area originally, so I brought my family's Ghirardelli chocolates from San Francisco, and they loved it. So I gave a lot of chocolate away. But the gifts that we received were like way above what we were expecting. So I got everything from artwork to teas to sake. I just got so many different gifts. I came back with I had to buy extra bags because I had so much gifts to bring back. So.
Well, as one of our team members said, we met 5 mayors in 5 different cities, and we actually had an audience. We were invited to the office, and then we always had a gift for that. And my club is known for its deck of cards with its 52 projects, and I brought that. And then I made special arrangements to go to JPL because I wanted to try to think of things that perhaps you couldn't get there. So I found baseball caps and pins and Mars rover kinds of things from Jet Propulsion Lab and some things from Gene Autry Museum to bring to try to bring some unique things. And one thing you find is that if you just make a small gesture and you give a little gift, the next thing you know, the next day you're getting something back. Or you send. I sent a lot of New Year's cards after I got home. And I'm just now receiving different cards and messages from the Rotarians that I sent to, and it's a wonderful way to keep in touch. It's a nice thing to do.
Nura, GSE to GSE, last question.
How did this experience
Second to last question.
change your life? I travel quite extensively, and this was the hardest trip that I ever did in my life. And there were times when I thought, God, I don't want to do this again. They need to change this, they need to change that. And then there were times when I was thinking, no, I'm glad that it was this hard because it really tested my what I can tolerate, what I can't tolerate. It made me stronger. And I look back and I really appreciate the experience. But it definitely did. It was trying and it tested me. I'm wondering what sort of effect it had on you.
I went on a fellowship before with 4 other journalists to Korea for about 4 weeks, which is almost similar, and I thought that was difficult. This was really difficult. We were on our toes from pretty much 8 in the morning till about like 5 or 6 in the evening, and then you'd get home and you'd still have other things to do with your families. So it definitely tested my stamina, I think. First week I was like, oh, this is cake, I can do this. And then things started changing. The itinerary, I'm like, so we're going to be at this time. They're like, no. And especially with the language barrier, it was a bit difficult. And you're like, you know what, I'm gonna roll with this, let's see what happens, and just be open to it. It really changes you as a person, I think, to see how much you can kind of deal with and just really, I guess, challenge yourself with in different situations, because I think it really puts you outside of your comfort zone. And I think I'm still learning about what, reflecting on the experience, even 2 months out. I think there are moments of my day where I'm like, I can't believe I survived a whole month. Just, for me, it was hard without internet. I'm connected 24/7 with my job. I have 2 cell phones. I always have to be online with my job. Social media never stops. That was the hardest thing for me, to be separated from work like that, and to know that I survived. But I mean, I'm still learning a lot about myself, I think, from that experience. I think maybe if we talk in 6 more months, I'll have a better answer for you. But definitely, I think it was a challenging experience, but I learned a lot about myself.
And I think for me, I loved it. I loved even the challenges of it. I think I've traveled a lot as well, both for grad school, undergrad, just personally. And I've had the experience of staying with host families before, so I kind of knew what to expect from that. And I was just excited. Every day was like an adventure and a new experience. Even though the hours were long, I wanted to experience every single thing I could within the course of that day. So I didn't sleep that much because I talked a lot and I saw a lot and I ate a lot, and and so it was fun. I think it was an amazing experience, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I would encourage anyone to do it again. And I'm looking forward to going back to Japan, and hopefully Angela and I can go back to the onsen. We're planning to do an onsen tour.
I would characterize each day as just when you thought it couldn't get any better, because what we were seeing and doing was so interesting, and meeting all the Rotarians and the people, it did. But I will agree, it takes a great deal of stamina, flexibility, to go, because the schedule, every minute was packed. We didn't even though the weekends were designed to relax a little bit, we were doing and seeing things in a way. I was grateful that we got taken so many places and got to see so many things. But we didn't even have really a free afternoon where we just kind of took a walk and like that, and they packed every minute for us. And so being about 30 years older than the rest of the team, you do need to be high energy, and it'll help you out a lot.
Jorge gets the last question, which makes sense because he actually runs the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Right?
Or at least he works there.
Actually, I think you already answered that question. Being a little bit politically incorrect in asking this, but when I asked the question once, why is the GSE program being changed? And not naming any names, one of the responses that was given to me was because it was too much for vacation. From what you've said, that's not the case.
It was hard work. I mean, it was not, and I think we're all grateful too, because our employers allowed us to go because they saw the benefit of it, and also what we brought back to our employees, they saw how much we gained from it. And so I think to phrase it as a vacation would be so far from the truth. It was a jam-packed day, and the amount of interaction and learning and visits that we did, it definitely was not a vacation. It was enjoyable, absolutely, but vacation, definitely not.
I felt like I got a peek into what it would feel like to be an ambassador, just because I think you wear, your GSE pin with you, and people who aren't part of Rotary who are like, wait, you're a foreigner, why are you here? And why are you dressed like this with the pin, like you look like an official? And it gave you an opportunity to talk about the program you're in. And so it's like you were always on your toes all the time. I always had to, be ready with a smile, because I think one of the speakers we had for our training, he said, as long as you smile and you have a positive attitude, you're going to get through this program. And I think it was totally true, because I think, when you're there, you look welcoming, friendly, people want to talk to you about it. So I think all of us, definitely did that.